live. Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to Play It Painted Live. Hope you guys are having a good Friday evening. And here we go. It's been a while since we've painted anything, right? So tonight we are painting some of these Cyberpunk 2077 minis, of which I know nothing about. So maybe you guys can let me know what these are in the chat. And I always start. So I've got a group of these to paint. But I was asked to kind of take my time, and I'm gonna see about maybe enjoying this process a little bit more than I typically do. Whereas we're trying to get these on the table. But for these, it's probably going to be a while before these get back to their owner. So we're just painting these. This is Maine, and you can see I primed him and then did a zenithal prime, and right now I'm working on the skin. So I started with AK dark brown as the first coat, and I've worked my way up to saddle brown, and so we're working our way towards that skin color that you see there on the screen there. So I'm using that as my example artwork, and we are just in here doing a little work on Maine here, who is definitely built like some sort of cybernetic strongman. He's gonna have some mechanical joints too at the end of the day. He's got these weird like gray and black gloves, and he's got this like kind of dark. It's not. It's hard to tell from the animation if it's supposed to be African skin or if it's just like a really like a dark olive tone. But so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go maybe just a hair lighter than what you see on screen there, because I'm gonna want to get. I'm gonna want to keep that detail there. You can see right you can see the detail of like the little cybernetic plating on the skin. So we're gonna do that. The other thing I need to do is I do want to start a new print, because I've been printing a lot. So I'm gonna start a print while we're on stream, and hopefully that's not the worst thing. We're gonna you guys can join me. So I'm gonna add uh, I think this one. I think this is, yeah, I'm gonna add this, and you guys are gonna print something with me now. So I've been printing some war game terrain on my Bamboo A1 Mini. Really enjoying just the fruits of having such a nice convenient printer. This particular print didn't come out 100% right, but you know what? It came out pretty close. It looks like it kind of borked up a little bit on a couple of the floating pieces, but I'm not really, the way this model was set up to be printed in one piece, I'm not really going to fault it for that. I'm just going to pull it off of the plate here. And yeah, this is going to be cool because I'm going to be able to use that for some of my skirmish games. Particularly looking forward to using it in things like Drowned Earth and maybe like some Morkborg stuff. So we got that going for us, which is nice. And yeah, I'm gonna just like stuff stuck to the bottom of this plate, but okay. So I'm gonna put that plate back on. And I'm gonna show you what this looks like. Well, I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. But right now, let's do a little shopping. let's find something else to print. What do you say? All right. So you guys get to watch me pick something to print. I'm gonna go here. So that's what I printed. And let's see. This guy, that's a lot. That's like an 11-hour print. It's cool. Maybe I should just go for it. Just do an 11-hour print. Maybe, because then it'll be done like mid-morning tomorrow. I'm cool with that. Yeah, I'm cool with that. I'm going to continue along with my just bricks and brick houses. So let's put this on. This is either going to... No, I don't want that. Okay. Oh, I probably should have saved that other one. Well, I don't think I'm printing another one of those. Here we go. Let's change this. So we're doing the mini, right? I'm going to change the sparse infill to 5%. And actually, I'm going to see about making this guy a little bit bigger because it's a little small. I kind of want this to be kind of bigger. It's going to be a big ol' long print, but yeah, let's make this bigger. Let's make it like 15% bigger. Let's go up to 115. Just make a yeah. There we go. Big ol' honkin' guy. Maybe bigger. You think I should? You think? Can I get greedy? I think I might get greedy, guys. Let's go bigger. Let's go bigger. Let's go to 120. There we go. I mean, that's pretty nice, right? Okay. So 120. Let's this is gonna print. This is gonna take a while to print. Well, let's slice it up. So it's trying to figure out. I have like, so I've been printing a lot of terrain. I don't have a clear direction on this particular set of terrain that I'm printing, but I know I'm going to use it for something. I mean, that's pretty useful. The only downside to that particular model is that it's just all bricks. So there's this imaginary world where only bricks are being used to make these structures. But you know, it works, right? You can use it for like anything from like an orc village to a, you know, it could be for drowned earth. It's just basically a ruined old, like a more primitive civilization that was ruined. So yeah, let's let it do its thing. The one advantage to this is that even if it doesn't print 100% well, it's still gonna look pretty cool when all is said and done. There we go. Just gonna think real hard here. Okay. So yeah, this is gonna print 16 hours. Can I wait 16 hours? That's a long print, dude. I don't know if I can wait that long. 16 hours. Oh. Uh, I mean, it'll be done by noon tomorrow. Yeah, sure. What's the worst? What's the worst that can happen? Let's go for it. Let's go. That's a big honkin' piece of terrain. Let's send it. I think yeah, by adding 20% to the size, I just increased my print time by quite a bit. So, okay. So that's going to get started there. I'm going to minimize this. I'm going to remove this window so that you guys don't have to see that window. Okay. I'm just going to let it finish doing its upload. And let's see if I can get back to you guys. Okay, it's gonna make me wait. Well, it's gonna make me wait while that's going. Um, but yeah, let me show you guys what I've been printing lately. So it's just been a lot of stuff that's like on the Bamboo site or um, or like Cults 3D. Um, so like this this is part of that set, like designed by the same guy who's like basically just making a bunch of bricks. But it's cool. I mean, this is for simple wargaming terrain. And again, it's what I'm planning on doing is I'm probably after I paint it, I'm probably going to stick a bunch of plants and stuff on it, make it look a little more, you know, I hate to use this word, but realistic. So it's going to be more realistic. But so that's the normal size, and so that house I'm printing is going to be a little bit bigger. This is the one I just pulled off, so it's still got its supports on it, right? So it's like these structures like this. So I'm going to make a table out of that. I've got like large pieces of like these large crate terrains. You can see I'm painting that. Just, right? Just rugged. And it's just terrain, right? It's my printer right now is just set to spit out an endless amount of terrain. Let me show you some other pieces here real quick before we get back to painting. I have these other pieces that I'll show you that I'm not entirely sold on, like how I'm going to build them. So I have these. Where's my other, like, I have like oil drum scatter terrain too. Just somewhere up here on my pile of stuff. That's not one of them. It's just like sitting up here. Let's see. It's really not up here, is it? Oh, here we go. Okay, yeah. All right. So, like here's some of the. It likes to talk. Our little bamboo printers. So here's like some oil drum scatter terrain, right? You can find these anywhere. You can find them on Thingiverse, or you can find them on Cults 3D. You can find them on Bamboo. And then I'm printing like these shanties. These are like the walls. They're double-sided walls for the shanties. That we had to blow up the scale a little bit to make them work. And I'm not 100% sure how I feel about these, because they're supposed to be shanties, but they're just so perfectly geometric. You know what I mean? I have a bunch of those walls printed. The really cool here's a barred one, right? And you got a little brick there. Like there's pretty good detail on these. And you just right, your printer will just spit them out, just spit out endless amounts of this kind of stuff. I have this this is the roofing, which is actually pretty cool, right? You can see it's just a bunch of flashing that's all thatched together, right? So I got a bunch of those. So like I could even do like something like this where I use one of these things here, and then like I have a smaller roof, but I can put like that type of roof on it, right? And then you have a proper like shanty. It's like a brick shanty. So I don't have a specific plan. I'm just making a table, and I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with that. But yeah, so now we're about to start a 16-hour print on that shanty, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, anyways, back to this guy. So I want to punch up that color a little bit more. And we're going to add a little bit of yellow to the color, just slightly. Actually, no, we're not. We're going to go up towards this beige red, right? And this is going to be the the like top highlight portion of it. So I'm adding beige red to my mix of dark brown and saddle brown. And again, we're gonna kind of go slow with this guy, right? Go slow with the process and just see what we end up with. All right. So go like that. And this concoction of these three colors is going to end up with, this is really kind of the endpoint color for Maine. Maine is like, to me, he's like, he looks like almost like a cybernetic Johnny Bravo. Oh yeah, this is a great color. So this is virtually spot on the color we want to end with. Right? So I'm gonna put a coat of this color down. And what I'll do is I'll shade it to get that detail, and then probably come back with this color and do a final highlight with it, right? But this is definitely the top color we want. Right? So we're gonna get the tops of the muscles. And again, he has all these like little armor plates within his skin that we're gonna, well, I'll show you how we pick that out, because it's a very fine detail. Obviously, you could have, like, I could have started black and painted my way up to it, but this way works, in my opinion, works just as well, if not better. So we'll do that. Okay. And then we're gonna get onto the hair. He's got like a kind of a golden haircut. And he's got a goatee too. Okay. Right. So we're not trying to do like what we might typically do with skin, which is really kind of just blend them up to these perfectly smooth transitions like we normally would. I normally don't do that though. I paint a lot faster, but like I said, we're gonna go a little slower on this guy. And then he has like his blonde on his hair is like, it's like a really light blonde. So it's almost like ivory blonde, right? So we're gonna use kind of more of like Sahara type colors. So we're gonna go with the initial color is gonna be this sand yellow, which is already super bright. And again, this is a little bit slower process than I normally take when I'm painting minis like that, right? We're already like 4 layers into the skin, and we're gonna punch up the hair. And you can see he has like a yellow collar. But let's, right, so that blonde he's got is like a really like a platinum blonde. So this is going to be a pretty bright blonde going down on his hair. Okay. And that's the thing about these these cyberpunk designs is, you know, this is like from an animated cartoon. So, and cyberpunk is already like about splashing in these big contrasts with these bright colors. So that's going to be the plan here, right? Is this model has a lot of like dark parts to it, but where it is bright, the plan is to go very, very bright on it. And he has this like, and I don't, it looks like to me like he's got this, he also has this goatee part on the bottom of his lip right there. So I am going to add that in and hope that that's right. I hope that's right. We'll see. And it might look a little weird at first, but let's just put that in there and hope that that's right. The good news is it's like you only see a portion of it, the way his head is turned here. Okay? We might as well, while we're in that deep into that detail, let's get so he's got black sunglasses, and normally I don't like to paint with just black, but we're doing it today. I mean, I really want to have good contrast on this miniature, and I'm not afraid to start with a color like that's darker than I normally paint with, especially on this guy. Okay. And again, oh, uh-oh. I hope I find that later. That's the lid to my, that's the lid to this, to my thinner here. And so I would hate for a cat to knock that over and spill my thinner everywhere. So I better find that. I don't know if I'm going to find, oh, well, actually I just found it. Good. Okay. Crisis averted. All right. So now let's go ahead and paint. Bah. See, I'm going to throw a bunch of these contrast paints off of my, we are not doing contrast paints, guys. When we're painting these, we're going to purposely avoid contrast paints unless it makes like way too much sense to do it. I'm not trying to disparage contrast paints or speed paints. I use them all the time. But in this case, I'm going to go with more old school techniques to really let me really kind of zero in, you know, the look and feel that these models are supposed to have, right? So even like this guy, he's got black shades, but he's supposed to have like a little bit of like a red gleam in them. And I might actually just do that. Right? Just put a tiny little bit of a red gleam in there that you can see. Okay. Cool. The next thing I need to do is I need to paint that yellow, the yellow inside part of his collar. And I'm trying to look at, it looks like it's divided into a couple of different parts here. There are kind of distinct portions to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with this volcanic yellow. And it seems like there's parts that are like volcanic yellow, and then it goes to like almost to more of a true orange on the ends, and then a brighter yellow towards the inside, right? So this volcanic yellow is really kind of the base yellow here. Okay, so let's start there. And it goes to about, I'm actually kind of following the sculpt. The sculpt has the yellow ending right about there. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna take it out to about there. And it looks like that's true on both sides. Okay, so you have yellow and yellow like that. Okay, Okay. All right. He also has these like rings here that are more red, but I'm gonna take those into an orange color. The next thing I want to do is I want to paint the inside of that bandana. Also, I feel like his lip there should be, even though like there's teeth visible, I'm gonna bring that in super tight. There we go. So that, yeah, his teeth are still white, but like it's gonna be a lot harder to see on him. So that's good. Okay, so now let's get like some blood red. And let's get into this bandana. Okay. All right. But yeah, it's been a while since I painted on this channel and been kind of missing that. Uh-oh. I got a problem already. Hold on. Hold on, guys. We got to stop the house. Yeah. That print already started to fail. So I don't know what it is. I tried to print that house I think a little bit earlier and it just wouldn't cooperate. But I'm gonna try one more time, okay? Because it's a 16-hour print, and if you can get past the like most of the baseline part of it, it's actually pretty smooth sailing. So I'm just gonna kind of creep that bandana around the corner there, just like that. So we're gonna finish painting this layer of red on, and then I'm gonna fix my print. Okay. It's just it's kind of funny because I don't want my printer not to run. If I'm around, I might as well have the printer, and I don't have like a great idea of what I want to print. I might as well have my printer running these big long prints, right? Just giving me the opportunity to have more terrain. And then I think these are kind of red back here too. They're not 100% red, they're more like highlighted red. But I'm gonna paint them red for now. I'm gonna paint them red for now because I'm gonna want that. I'm gonna want this to all really pop up against the black jacket. You can hear my son spazzing out back there. Dude, stop yelling at your friend. Okay, all right. Hang on 1 second. I'm gonna pull this thing back up. No, I'm not. I'm just gonna pop it off, and we're gonna try again to reprint. It looks like it just got it had some lifting on the, maybe the nozzle's leaking a little bit. Yeah, it looks like the nozzle may be leaking a little bit. Okay. Ooh, this stuff is really on there. All right. I mean, that's a good sign if it's that first layer sticks pretty well. That's a pretty good sign. I mean, the other option is I try to find a lesser structure to print. But I kind of like that structure. I'm willing to risk, as long as it gets past the first hour of printing, we're probably okay. Okay. Oh, come on. Okay. And one little dot here to get off. Ah, there we go. Okay. All right. Let's pop that plate back on. Oh. Okay. Yeah, we're going to try it one more time. If it fails again, we'll stop it and I'll just print something else. All right. So let's go ahead and let's print it again. Huh? I'm painting and I'm printing. What are you doing, son? You're just playing? You having a good time? Okay. Can you do me a favor, Darius? Can you try to get this cat out? Thanks, son. Thanks, son. All right, and we'll close that door, okay? All right. All right. Thank you, son. Okay, so let's get back to this. Um, yeah. So we've got some yellow there that I've got to touch up from the red. So let's touch that up. And then we can ink I want to ink I'm going to ink that skin. Okay? Oh, you know what else I want to do really quick? Is we talked about doing a little tiny little red, like a tiny little red streak on the lens. There we go. So tiny little red streak on the lens. There we go. Okay. So now we want to get that. We want to get the detail on the plates here, right? You see that? Okay. So we're going to use this navy gray wash. And that's going to help us define a bunch of stuff on this guy. I'm actually going to come back to it. Oh, I'm going to come back to that a little bit later too, especially when we start painting like the metallics on the belts and that kind of thing. But I'm going to use it kind of everywhere for right now. Right, so you can see I'm just very lightly applying it to the face to provide a little bit, just a tiny little bit of definition on the face, like that. And I want it here, so I'll run it under there. We're going to run it in here so you can see how it's hitting those tiny little holes in there, right? So that's good. Obviously you don't want that bubble to stay, but there you can see it. All right, good luck, printer. Godspeed. All right, so here's what you can see what I'm doing here. Right? And you can see now I have, look at all that definition that we just landed on there. Okay. So now you can really see kind of the cybernetic attribute of this guy's body. Because you can see all those individual, you can see all the individual plates there. Okay. There you go. And then just get rid of, like there's a little extra pulling here. So we just get rid of that. Right? This wash is really good for stuff like this. And you notice it didn't dramatically, it didn't really stain the surface, right? This color is still pretty good. Now I'm going to come back and highlight it, but I did not, Jose, I did not buy the Cyberpunk game. This is Nelson stuff. I'm just painting Nelson stuff. Okay, so we got that. So I'm going to let that dry. And then while we're here, let's do a little tiny little highlight on the hair. And I want to use buff if I have it. If I have buff or something close to it up here. I have vampiric flesh, which will work. Ice yellow will work a little bit better. So we'll use some ice yellow for that. Yeah, this is Nelson stuff, so I don't know what any of this stuff is. I'm just painting it. So, all right. So just a little bit of ice yellow, and we're just gonna highlight the tops here. Ooh, in fact, looks like there's a thing here. Yeah, also we are gaming Sunday. It's a Conquest day at CQ, obviously though, but I do not play Conquest, so I will be looking for games on Sunday. There we go. Okay, cool. Let's get these belts. Now, the belts, it looks to me like these belts are sort of black. They're like black with metal. They're just, yeah, his outfit's kind of boring. Now, I guess, yeah, the belts are black with just little metal buckles. That's about it, I think. And it actually looks like I should be painting more yellow all the way up to the edge of this, to the inside collar. Oh, cool. Okay. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, we'll see who else wants to show up. But a lot of the guys will be playing Conquest. I think Sean may be showing up. And probably Jeff and maybe Rick will show up. We'll see. So let's expand this part out. Right, like that. Right? That looks pretty good. And then let's do black on the belts. it just looked different. And the art, I've looked at a couple of different pieces of art, and it hasn't been the most consistent. But you got, it looks like you've got black here. And then there's like, he's got like a set of like overpants and pants. I don't understand. Okay. Anyways, he's got, it looks like these portions of his boots are red. So I'm going to put one layer of red right here. And I'm not going to go full black just yet, because it looks like his pants have it's like a stone gray underneath. They look like, it's almost like these are coveralls, and then there's like stone gray pants underneath that, it looks like. So I think we're gonna do that. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. That's not quite the right gray. It's, maybe it's more of like a basalt gray. Yeah. It's like a basalt gray underneath. So I'm gonna paint all the jeans basalt gray. I'm gonna paint the whole jeans as basalt gray, and then I can start on the metallics. And the pants are, they're like a they're like a 10 bros gray. I think. So for now, I'm gonna paint the whole set of the pants this basalt gray. And then you can already see like there's straps and stuff underneath. I might as well come all the way down here. But yeah, there's gonna be these like kind of these bright red patches. His boots are actually true black. And then, so he's got like several really dark grays and blacks on him. I think this belt around the outside is metallic. So we'll do that. Yeah, basalt gray is the correct color here. Okay. So I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to jinx it, but print looks okay so far. Just get through an hour. Just get through an hour, print. That first hour. Okay. Right? Pretty good. And then, okay. So we got that. Wash is almost dry for me to highlight, but in the meantime, I want to, I'm going to start with this really dark steel, this adamantium black. It's one of my favorite colors. This is just a great Reaper color, this adamantium black, and it's the like one of the best undercoats for if you're going to do steel. And it seems to me this guy has like steel gloves, and he's got a lot of parts that are going to end up being more of that steel color. So let's I'm actually gonna paint this whole glove that color, and then we'll highlight this what's steel, what it. Yeah, I'm not speaking. I'm not Englishing correctly right now. But you can see what I'm doing here. Just get a good undercoat of this adamantium black on there. I really need to go to the shop and get more of this color. You don't see this color in a lot of ranges these days. And it's like the best. You can see it's already like the best, like, um, if you're gonna go if you're gonna go steel, it's one of the best undercoats for steel. And it's also like if you're just gonna do, uh, say you're just painting urukai or something like that, that's just like really, really dark metal. This is the way to do it. Okay, I'm gonna highlight the buckles here. And then this whole belt running across his back is like that. Okay. Okay. I don't know why didn't I finish painting the shoe? You might as well finish painting the shoe. Okay. Am I painting the... Oh, no. That's basalt gray. Okay. Alright. Alright. Still with me. So now, before I paint the jacket, which is gonna be more of a dark black color, I'm gonna go back with that mixture of basic flesh, dark brown, and saddle brown, and I'm going to give us one more highlight of that in. It didn't, well, yeah, it's in there in the skin, but I'm gonna kind of just highlight around those dark, deeper points. Right? So this is really kind of the finishing layer here. So you'll be able to see Maine. Right, and I'm just being careful to avoid that area there that's like washed in. Oh shoot. I actually need to paint in those elbow parts, that steel, so I'm gonna do that. Let me just finish this real quick. You know, it's harder to tell on this arm where the elbow part is. The elbow part's right there actually, so maybe I just paint the other side. So I paint this side right here. So the elbow, this right here, is metallic. That right there. Right? And it's like that. Okay? And it comes around this way. Okay. Alright. Alright, now now we're gonna paint. I mean, should it be black? Or should it be like 10 Bros gray? I personally think it should be black. But let's see what kind of blacks. We have rubber black. 10 Bros gray is really, I think, is really where I'm gonna. Let's do 10 Bros gray. Actually, no. No. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna paint it black, and then we'll paint 10 Bros gray as the highlight color. I like that plan, because then that allows me to really kind of make this more exact looking. Right? And it allows me to come into here and just get this border down correct without having to worry too much about borking up the skin job. Right? I can just paint this black border in like that. And you can see I can leave the buttons red or whatever those are. Just leave those red. Okay. And it can come in like that, right? Come in like that. Man, it's been so long since I've painted around a camera. I gotta make sure I'm doing this right. But yeah, pretty fun. Okay. Cool. Really get the... Yeah, I'm liking this so far. I'm just trying to straighten up an edge here and there. There we go. There's an edge back here. And then edges here. All right. So, I guess what I want to talk about tonight, because I've been playing you guys know I've been playing GW games, been playing Blood Bowl 7s, and I've been playing Spearhead, and I've been playing a lot of Kill Team, a lot of Kill Team. I don't really want to talk technical about those games tonight, but I do want to talk about like my overall. I talked a little bit about my overall experience at LVO, and you know, my thoughts about LVO, what what my considerations are for next year LVO, and kind of generally about like how I approached that whole Kill Team tournament, right? So I'm not going to talk about lists, and I'm not going to talk about the game, and I'm not going to talk technically about the game itself. I'm going to talk more like holistically about my expectations going into the tournament. Looks like we may have an issue already. It's like let's hope that no, it looks like yeah, we have an issue. That was quick. Okay. I'm shutting it down. Shutting it down. That print is not going to happen. I'm going to have to print some other garbage. All right, let's stop that because definitely don't feel like doing that. Yeah, let's stop that. That's not good. Okay. 1 second here while we talk. Now print started to fail. So, and it's a big old long print and I do not feel like dealing with that. Maybe I just print another one of the ones I just did. Maybe. I do want another structure. And it doesn't have to be that big old full house. What if maybe it will let me change it. There we go. Slicing canceled. Oh no, it's because I changed the filament. I knew it. I knew it. Let's try and figure out the support there. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. Let's let it do that thing. I'm gonna paint a little black behind here while that thing finishes its slicing job. So we'll worry about that in a minute. Sorry you guys aren't watching all of the amazing strokes of paint right now. But it'll be fun. It's like a magic trick. Right? When we cut back to me, his jacket will be all black. Yay. Okay. That was pretty good. And now I'm going to paint the straps. Oh, wait. Yeah, I'm going to paint the straps like pure black. There's just so many different like dark grays and blacks on this particular model. It's got a lot of belts. All right, good to go. It's saying 14 hours? It could happen. Let's do it, boys. Okay. Let me go ahead and do that. And I'm going to take this off of the viewer. There we go. So you'll just hear my printer kick on once it's done sending that over. And see, I told you his jacket is now black. Isn't that cool? And let's paint the boots black. Yeah, I honestly don't know why I'm printing this. I'm at a spot now where I have actually a lot of terrain, but I can just keep making terrain, so why stop now? I treat it like it's almost like loads of laundry. Like I'm just gonna do another load. As soon as that one's done, you just paint, do another one. And And painting terrain that you print is a lot of fun for some reason. I don't know why that's way more fun than like buying a set of terrain and painting it. Painting a set of terrain that you've printed, it feels like you've accomplished some great thing. Like, oh, that's my piece, and there it is, completely painted, and no one will know that I only spent $4 of material making this $130 table. Of course, my friends will know because they all have the same printer, and they're like, "Oh, I know that file," so they can call me out if they want. Pretty good. Pretty good. Okay. Now the question is, do I 10 Bros gray the pants? And I'm inclined to say yes. I'm inclined to say yes. What do you think? Should I 10 Bros gray? Also, is the skin good enough? Do I need to go lighter? I don't think I need to go any lighter than this. That's pretty good. But you see how like the coverall parts of his pants are closer to the black than these like under parts of the pants? I don't know. I feel like that basalt gray is not quite dark enough. So let's do a 10 Bros gray. Let's do a 10 Bros gray coverall. And I'm gonna start back here in an inconspicuous spot. And let's see how that goes. It seems like that's gonna be so dark that it's gonna be indistinguishable from the rest of it. That's kind of a problem, right? Because I can almost see how it almost seamlessly blends in with the pure black. It's like really dark. But I mean, his outfit is like super dark. I don't know. I'm not sure. What do we do here? Because I kind of like this color block, but that bottom gray should be a little darker. What if we just did dark gray? I think I have a dark gray. I have rubber black. And here's dark gray. Is dark gray too dark? No, dark gray looks like it's gonna be pretty good actually. Let's dark gray that. And then we can use 10 Bros gray to highlight the black if I need it. Right? But if I go dark gray here, yeah, that's perfect actually. It just tones down. That's perfect, because then I can just go like that. Right? Yeah, that worked out really. That's much better, in my opinion. I think that's better. Just go dark gray. Okay. Cool, cool. So now for the rest of this, he's kind of like, it's like that, really. Right? It's like that. And then you just highlight the edges. we go. Okay. And then all right. Not bad. Not bad. Let's get some orange on that inside part. It's not even going to quite be an orange. It's going to be more like a cadmium red. That's a nice orange. Okay. So he kind of has like orange going this way, right towards the edge of his. Yeah, it kind of builds out to an orange like that. Right, and this also builds out to an orange like on this side. Okay. And I'm just gonna kind of feather that in. And we're gonna do more of this gray, or more of the red here. Make sure that's a good intense red there. I mean, this guy painted, he's painting pretty quick. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. But he is painting up quite a bit faster than we thought. All right, and we're also gonna hit the cybernetic hands with this steel. And then I'm not gonna paint the basing tonight because I'm not really sure how I want to do that. But let's do this. And I am gonna do the wash trick on the metallic parts to help, just to kind of help them pop, right? Because highlighting metal on metal, it's not the cleanest thing. It's kind of hard to see the detail sometimes because of how shiny things get when you're doing this. So I'm gonna do that there. Okay. Well, and then what I want to do is get, oh man, I'm gonna blend that a little bit better. There we go. Okay, so he's looking pretty good. I don't even know if that's how he's supposed to look. I think that's right, but we'll get that going there. Okay, I think that's right. Let's go in with some of that Ten Bros gray around the edging of the clothing. I don't even know if it's gonna show up, but let's do it. Yeah, it's really not showing up. Ten Bros gray and black are very, very close. So I'm not getting much detail there on the black. But it does, I mean, to me, it does look like the artwork. Okay, I should be using armor wash for this part. And the reason why I'm saying that is even though I have that gray wash, armor wash is gonna make the metallics just a little bit cleaner. That's the wrong word. It's going to throw a bigger overall contrast on it. And so it's better than the wash I've been using. If I can find it. I have too many things on here. Hold on. I know I have armor wash here. Somewhere. I have not located it. But it is here. Oh, it's underneath it there. Isn't that armor wash? No. Shoot. Oh, hey, what's up, Nelson? Okay. So, let's get this armor wash on. And you don't need a lot of it, but it is going to help kind of define these. So you can see it goes in and it throws a much deeper shadow than the gray wash does. And it's much better for metallics. So now you can see a lot more detail of the gauntlet there, right? So I'm doing the same here. And you can see the detail there. And then I'm going to give tiny little detail on the belt buckles. Just enough to where they kind of shine from a ways away. And you're like, oh, that's what those are. That's just the metal part of the belt buckles showing. Okay. So we look good there. I want to hit that. Let's hit that with the armor wash. Back here. Hit that with the armor wash. And then, yeah, no problem. Yeah, I'm just trying to follow. As you can see, I've got, it's almost like a paint by numbers thing I've got going on here. And I'm just trying to get that detail on for this guy. And the plan is to paint them more, instead of batch painting them. You know, you wanted me to take my time, so I am going in more slowly with these. What I really need is some wine red. It's what I really need. It's what I really need. That's the wrong red. Violet red's not bad, but wine red is better for what I need this to do. Let me hold on one sec. Because it looks like he has, I just noticed he has red detail on his, like on the bottom of his shoes. And so what I want to do is, so instead of just like painting red over black, which is a nightmare, we're going to use this color wine red, which is way better. Wine red is it's a nice little cheat code. And it's like it's like he's got, it's like he's got little, like his soles are, the soles of his sneakers are like red. But you can see right there, oh man, that thing. What is going, I think it's the nozzle. Hold on, I gotta stop my print again. Yeah, just not doing well on these prints. Why is it? Is it the way this guy could be the way the guy is just setting these up? It's like that, or it could be maybe my nozzle's clogged. My nozzle clogged? Might be. But it seems to do just fine on the first layer, and then as soon as you get to the second layer, it's no good. Okay. I have decided that I'm not going to mess with those particular prints right now. Let's stick to something safe. Let's print something a lot smaller. Shall we? Shall we? Let's do it. Let's print something smaller. Alright. Jada Toys makes a Maine with pretty good details. Oh, cool. Hey, thanks for the tip. Okay, so, alright guys, we're going to go back to shopping. Ricardo Ruffino, welcome to the stream. Okay, let's... Okay, let's go back to this. Okay. Alright. This has all been printing and painting. Okay. Some of these are just not happening. I could do that gothic ruined terrain, bleh. Ruined corner wall. Oh, who doesn't need a ruined corner wall? Oh man, that thing looks terrible. That looks bad. Of course we're gonna try it. Ah, sure, just save that. I'll give that weird house a shot later. Okay. It's got all kinds of weird floaty parts. Man, that's just a terrible... That's just a waste of filament. Oh, boy. I still want to do it. I still want to do it. Hold on. Let's move it over. Let's add something to it, shall we? All right. Bear with me, guys. What if I did... Yeah. Just a weird, trashy shanty thing. That's a great idea. Let's do these things. Okay. Let's go with gyroid. Alright. I'm feeling good about this, folks. We're going for it. Oh. Hold on. No. Hold on. Did it again. Okay. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe I should set it to... Okay. 2 hours? Let's go for it. Let's go. What's good about printing like terrain like that is, uh, as long as it, like I said, as long as it doesn't fail totally, you can have some sort of trash terrain on there. Okay. So let me. Okay, let's finish with that wine red on the soles. I think I want to do a little more wine red on the whatever these weird like vent things are on him. Paint and print. So Nelson, I didn't get to catch up with you at all about you played Blood Bowl at LVO. How did that go? Because I never, you were in the other room there, and I was in the room there with War Machine and those guys, but never really had a chance to ask you about your experience playing Blood Bowl. And you played the Tomb Kings team, is that right? Okay. So it's so really no real rocket science here, just gonna go like that. And then I want to get a little more detail back onto the belt. Hey, no problem. Yeah. Yeah, no problem. Obviously, I had decided on a different game, so I'm glad you were just able to come out with us and obviously come and enjoy the noodle house that we love so much, which is really kind of one of the biggest reasons to go to LVO is for the food places. The opponent I played was awesome, but I knew that I was going to go after the first game. Oh, I see. So you just kind of played one game and then dropped? That's what I assumed happened. Because I was like, I don't know if you're going to be willing to like sit through and in all those games for like the whole day, right? Not unless you're like really into Blood Bowl. Um, I just, uh, I just really love sevens. To me, sevens is like the by far the best version of Blood Bowl. Tomb Kings, yeah, that's true. A lot of their abilities are somewhat they're more for league play than a tournament. That's true, right? Tournament teams, because it's a resurrection style tournament. Your one-off like scory teams are fantastic, like your Skaven or Skaven, Wood Elves. Those teams are really good. And then, depending on how they let you do your builds, you can build some really bashy like chaos teams and that kind of thing. Oh, it was your first 11s game. I mean, don't get me wrong, 11s is fun, but I don't have time for that. Just cut to the chase. I want to play sevens. Um, I got a buddy of mine that's trying to get me to play Blitz Bowl. And Blitz Bowl it's okay, but I feel like Sevens gives you the Blood Bowl experience so much better than these other versions do. I know everybody wants all the re-rolls and they want all their skills, and I don't know. I don't have time for that, man. I want a really fun bunch of plays to happen. I just want to be dropped right into an exciting play, right? If I have only, you know, only a one or two rerolls at the very most, and I have to make do knowing that the play can fail at any second, that just makes it more exciting for me. And sevens are done in an hour. It's just so good. It's just such a good experience, in my opinion. Like sevens, you're just done. I don't. It's my whole. It's again. It's what allowed me to make peace with Games Workshop. It's like, okay, Games Workshop, I've realized what you are. You're that friend that I can only tolerate in very small doses. So I'm just going to play every small dose of every game that you have, right? My tournament experience was really good. It was surprisingly good. Um, and it was because I had put a lot of thought into uh, what I was really hoping to happen in the tournament. Okay. First thing is I I I put in my head immediately that game result does not matter to me. In fact, no, that's not really true. Um, I wanted to lose at least half of my games. Okay. Because my my tournament, the purpose for me being in that tournament was simply I wanted fun games and I wanted the possibility of running into people that I would be happy to game with in the future. And I feel like for me, that's the ultimate goal of playing these games. Um, I don't consider myself to be a very social person in the regular, everyday life. I would consider myself to be more introverted, even though I've taken those, Myers Briggs, and half the time they say I'm extroverted, half the time they say I'm introverted. I think that's because um, I just like anybody else, I can be introverted or extroverted just depending on the context of the situation, right? If you just stick me with a bunch of average, we'll call them normie adults, I'm going to be pretty introverted. I don't really if I don't if I'm not really finding any connection or touch points with a person, then I don't really need to spend that much time getting to know them. That sounds rough, but I mean, I'm just being truthful there. It's like, well, it's like if you're really, let's say you were really into pickleball, heaven forbid, but you're really into pickleball, and that's like your deal. You read pickleball magazines and you watch pickleball on YouTube, and that's like you're obsessed with pickleball. Well, the rest of the world outside of pickleball is gonna sound like very, very toned down to you. It's like the rest of the world is on mute, and you're just tuned into the pickleball side of the world, right? I'm like that with miniature gaming. Right? My adult normie life, if I'm talking about being at work or, being with family or, colleagues or friends, if their hobbies are, if they're not into miniature gaming, they're just, they're just really on mute for me. It's like, I don't know, and maybe that's messed up, but I'm like, okay, yay, you like pickleball, buddy. That's cool. I'm really proud of you. I'm happy that you're, really into that. Well, I'm really into this. Okay? And this speaks to me, right? These are my people. So, So in most of those situations, I consider myself to be pretty introverted. In in this situation, in miniature gaming, I come off as very extroverted. I come off as much more gregarious, right? I like to build communities, a group. I like having a good gaming group. I like having a group of guys that we can go out, you know, play our games, and then we can go hit the noodle joint. We can go hit the fuku burger, right? Like that's to me, that's where I feel like I'm an extrovert. And in this case, I'm an extrovert. And so what I'm getting at is when it came time to go into that tournament, my thinking was more social. It was like, okay, what I'm really doing is auditioning people to be future opponents. And that's more true in a local tournament than it is in a large tournament, but I won't rule it out because as it turns out, I ran into a lot of players that are somewhat local. And so I figured that's really the mission statement. Play fun games with people with the possibility or the idea that this could be somebody that you could hook up a later game with or later games with. And I think if that's, with that being my mission in the tournament, I was able to craft my own path as best I could, right? Let's read some of the comments here. Glad I had lots of fun at Kill Team. Bing's opponent beat him. Yeah. Yeah. That guy. Yeah. Yeah. Bing put himself in a higher bracket at the end of day 2. So, um, so really, that was my mission. Let's let's play fun games, and I'll tell you how I accomplished that. While still, still being a reasonably decent opponent. It's not like I'm just like putting, I put my models down and then decide never to attack anybody, right? And then just lose. It's not really about that. What I ended up doing was I had a mission over the weekend, and my mission was I wanted to play a pure faction list for each aspect at least once, right? So 3 of the 6 games I would be playing would be pure aspect. And a lot of times pure aspect does put you on the back foot because you're basically throwing 10 of your faction abilities out the window. It doesn't mean that your team is bad. It means that it's slightly hampered. Okay? And so what you can do, again, this is really cool because you can do this with Blades of Cain. What you can do is really play a super fun thematic list and then really floor it. You know what I mean? Like play that list as well as you can because you're on the back foot and you want to do fun things and you're going to play for big plays. Oh boy. No, it's just, oh boy. Hold on. Yeah, it's just not going to happen. You're going to play for big plays, but it's not like you're just completely throwing the towel in. You know what I mean? Although I will admit that there was a part that didn't that I'm not particularly proud of. I'm just gonna peel that off. Oh, how weird. Okay. So what I'm saying, for example, I played the second day. I played an all Scorpion list into an opponent that I knew like his goal. The minute he showed up, I knew this guy we'll call him like a student of the game. Okay, this guy was pretty serious, is what I mean. He had these pre-designed forms that he fills out when he's playing a game that record absolutely every decision that is made in the game. Right? Like forms. Like think like tax forms. They look like that. These were forms to do that. Um, and he sits down and he's like explaining everything, and I'm thinking, and it's all just kind of running in the background. And in my head, I'm going, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna play all scorpions. and, and 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 yes, I did play all scorpions, but um, it, I got to play all scorpions like in in the in the best way possible. Like I was able to, okay, I had a plan. Here's what the scorpions are gonna do. Here's what my tac op is. Um, and it allows me to like it's not for I'm not just like absolutely throwing a game, but I am starting at a significant disadvantage in that particular matchup, right? So that's what I mean. My goal was to lose at least 3 games, keep myself in the bottom brackets, but have fun games the entire time. So even though this guy was like super serious about the game, and he's a good enough person, he's a good person, but his goal was very different than mine at the time. His goal was, I am here to collect data. I'm here to learn for the game. He wants to play along a more, let's say, academic sense. And I'm like, nah, man, no. What I want to do is I want to run my experiment, and if it's working, then I get a little scared. But I get to do cool things like my favorite move of all time, Prison Shank, which is the best move you can do with Blades of Cain. It's super fun. Anyway, so that was kind of my approach the whole weekend. Was let's play these games. Let's play well. Like I want to make good decisions, but I want to do it with a bad list. That's kind of the idea. So I played a game of all Scorpions. I played a game of all Avengers. I played 2 games of all Banshees, which is actually somewhat good. Because I actually won one of those games with all Banshees. And well, no, let me correct myself. I almost I almost won 2 games with all Banshees. Um, and what happened is in my second game with all Banshees, um, there was a point where I was handily winning. And I was very upset with myself because I did not want to go into Saturday with a 2-1 record. I did not. That would be bad. That would put me in a higher bracket, and I did not want that. Maybe if I play next year, I might want that. But this year was absolutely out of scope. I did not want that. Um, so so here's what I did. I was winning that game handily, and it just so happened this guy, like, we go into this combat, and this guy looks at my dice, and he's like, dude, I'm just dead again. I'm just dead. Um, and I fixed his dice. I'm like, no, did you know if you play this and you play that, you play this, you play this firefight ploy, you can block me, you'll take some damage, but we'll both live, right? So I fixed his dice so that happened. And uh, then he just decided, then he just proceeds to just go on and start wrecking my guys with these really awesome dice rolls. So this is where my dice helped me get my goal of not winning that game. Um, but yeah, I will admit that was a game that I probably could have just won, but I felt better for it because I taught him a little bit about um, how he can win combats, like really close, tightly contested combats, and pull off a game like that. So he was really happy with the result. He told me that I was his favorite opponent because like I was extremely upfront about here's what you can do, here's what you should do, um, and so like that guy would be happy to play again, right? Because he learned a bunch of stuff and he was a fun opponent. So even like and he wanted to play a little bit more competitively, and that's good. He was like learning his way through, and I admire that. So that's kind of where this whole carefully curated experience where you keep yourself in those lower brackets because you want a more casual gaming experience, and you want to meet people that are there for that, right? Um, I met a guy in Inland Empire that we just had the most hilarious game ever. I ran all Dire Avengers into his Angels of Death, so it was like the most like high tech BB gun fight ever. Um, and he ended up winning. I picked a terrible tac op um, that I was trying to accomplish, and he would just thwart it. He just knew how to thwart it every time, so it was good. But that's kind of the point, right? It's people. The issue I have, or the concern I have, is you say the word tournament to somebody, and they immediately think about the top end of the tournament. They immediately think about, oh gosh, I don't want to go to a tournament. It's going to be a bunch of sweaty dudes. That are there for the wins. They're going to stomp me. It's going to be bad. I'm going to have a bad time. I'm going to look like an idiot. I'm going to have to admit to myself that I'm not very good at this game. And I'm like, that's entirely the wrong attitude. First off, uh, we have to acknowledge that the vast majority of us we're not going to be great or remarkable at miniature games, okay? Just get that out of your head. We're not going to be, unless you've proven that to yourself many times and you win tournaments all the time and you can see shots and angles and things that people don't see. Unless you're doing that, then you're here with the rest of us, okay? Get over this idea that, I should show up and I'm a smart guy and therefore I should be winning tournaments. Get that out of your head. You're not that guy. You might be smart in other areas of your life, okay? Accept that. That's way better. It's way better to be smarter at other things, okay? This is not the area that you should be down on. The fact that you are a mediocre miniature gamer, okay? That's the least of your worries. So going to a tournament, if your expectation is I'm gonna win, and you're not playing every week, and you're not following the meta, and you're not naturally gifted like certain people I know that are just they can just take a look at the board and go, oh well, if I move here, stand right there, I'm gonna hit your guy, you're effed, right? Of the hundreds of miniature gamers I know, maybe I probably know about 1,000 miniature gamers. Okay, I can count on one hand the number of guys that I've met that can do that. Okay, you're not that guy. I'm not that guy. Can we just get over this whole like expectation that we're supposed to be great or remarkable at miniature games? Okay, pick another spot in your life and be good at that. Okay, you're average at best here. Okay, you're here with the rest of us mortals, and we can look up at those other guys and go, wow, those guys are really good at their thing. I'm not that guy. I'm here for a good time. Okay? So, let's get that out of our head. The other thing is, when you go to a tournament, like I said, and you're an average, semi-sociable gamer, your goal is to meet other people like you that want to play games with the same sort of expectations you have. Or at the very least, you know and accept their expectations of a game. Okay? So, for example, I play against guys that play every week, but I also play against guys that play maybe a handful of times a year, right? And everything in between. I play every week, but I'm like I haven't fully committed to sport. It's not since the likes of Guild Ball have I done that and said, okay, this is really my deal, and I really need to be good at this. I play these games and I want to make good decisions and I want to continue to learn. Don't get me wrong. I want that, but I'm not that guy. okay? And especially with GW games, like good God, like GW games, balance is everyone's claiming about how balanced they are. Relatively speaking, friends, okay, GW got more balance, but please don't compare it to like Guild Ball. Please don't compare it to these other games, like even War Machine, that they pay pretty strict attention to win rates and balance, and there's teams that are staring at that stuff all the time, and they're not afraid to errata as often as they need to. Okay, GW ain't like that, boys. Like, they're no, their games are not. Relatively speaking, their games are not balanced. Okay, and if you're upset by that, then not there's no there's no consoling you. All right, it's just not gonna happen. So, anyways, um, so you'll run into guys like so. In other words, I'm just as likely to play against a competitive player as I am to play against a more casual player. And for me, it's about like managing that expectation and being okay with it. Like I'm gonna play against so and so who like wins every tournament. Okay, cool. You know what? I'm in the mood for that because I want to see. I actually do want to like kick it into my quote unquote high gear and see how close I can get. Maybe even occasionally beat this guy, right? And as long as we're having fun and he's a cool person and not an absolute dick like that one dude, um, you're gonna still have a good time, right? So that's all I'm really trying to say with this whole thing is like, don't go into a tournament only thinking about your win-loss rate or your skill or anything like that. You're giving up on this whole idea that you can meet people that you want to game with more regularly. Why wouldn't you want to expand your potential for more games? I don't right? Oh, I'm just going to play with my one friend cuz I like my one friend and I'm going to be okay, fine. You know what? You want to be like that? That's cool, but I'm saying if you don't if your one friend drops off the face of the earth or you know uh, or ends up in another hobby or has to move away, well, what are you going to do then? you better you better have some options to meet people and play games, or get used to Vassal. I don't know. That sounds horrible to me. If you play Vassal and you like Vassal, more power to you. To me, I just feel dead inside. If I don't get to move this around, but I'm like moving a mouse or no, I feel like I feel like I've lost. right? So, anyways, that's all I'm trying to say with like going to a tournament. Going to attending a tournament, if you go at it with the attitude of I want to meet cool people, have fun games, and potentially have future games with these people, that's 1,000% of what I think is going to make your tournament experience worth it. And that's why people tell you to go to tournaments in the first place. Is like, look, dude, you, you're we're not saying you're a social person. In this realm, in miniature gaming, you have to be a somewhat social person. Look at it as like you finally get to be as cool as you want to be. right? Finally. The rest of us, we walk around with other adults around us and we judge them for their shitty hobbies because they don't have a hobby as cool as us. so, but in our hobby, you can just, in this hobby, yeah, you can uh, you can be social with people and you can enjoy. I I'll tell you about my favorite opponent for the whole weekend. Okay, so this guy he's a single dad and he was like, hey man, not a single dad, he's a stay-at-home dad. He's like, dude, I'm a stay-at-home dad, um, and I never get to go out. I never get to go out. This is my one time a year to go out, pound some beers, not get judged by my wife, not have a kid with me, and I'm here to have a fun time and push these minis around, roll dice, and blow shit up and laugh. And that guy was my favorite guy in the whole tournament because that is literally within the first 2 minutes of meeting, that's what we talked about. Right? And, I found out he's local to my dad. He lives in the same town my dad does. So after the game, I was like, dude, yeah, if I'm in town, we should meet up, play a game. That'd be super fun. So we ended up doing that, and we ended up exchanging info, and we're planning on getting together to play another game. And that's what it's about, dude. Like that's already, if you do that, you have that happened one time in a tournament, then it was worth going to that tournament. All right. I could be like, oh, I went 2-4. Oh, I'm not gonna kill two. There was one guy. There was one guy that Bing beat by 1 point. 1 point. And he said, "Oh, I'm not playing Kill Team anymore. I don't like this game." So I don't know what to say. Yeah. This is just bad times. Like that. Whatever mission he was on was, again, and no knock on Bing, but like if you are gonna be that serious, and you can't beat Bing, who is, Bing is a competent player, he's a good player, but Bing is not like super serious, I'm gonna win everything and be champion of the world guy. Okay, Bing didn't climb into the upper bracket of the tournament. So if you can't beat that guy and you're taking the game that seriously, then maybe you should quit that game. Because you got a ways to go. You're not going to be born great. This whole idea that, oh, well, I'm a smart guy and therefore I'm going to be good at the game, is the worst at it. It's horrible. I don't understand that at all. And then what people end up doing is they end up being gun shy about actual competition. Like they literally defeat themselves by not like embracing the climb. You know what I mean? If I'm trying to learn a game and I'm trying to get good at a game and I lose to somebody of Bing's caliber by 1 point, then I really should be saying, okay, that's actually pretty good effort. I see where I'm landing right now. I want to be better than that. So maybe I should, I don't know, learn from this guy named Bing. Maybe I should ask him what I could have done differently. Maybe if it was just dice, it was just dice, and we both made good decisions, and it came down to a couple of rolls. That happens too. But the absolute dumbest answer is, oh, I'm not playing this game anymore. I didn't get to be number one boy. Like, that's the worst. Yeah, that's fine. That's, okay, buddy. It's time. What? You should get into, competitive skateboarding and just go on vert immediately. And, if the minute you fall down and do a knee slide, you should give up on that entirely. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah. So that's where we took this guy. I think I stopped painting a while ago. But it's looking pretty good. You know what I will do? Hold on. Let's get a little bit of a highlight. Oh, actually, what I need to do is I'm going to do a little shade here, help define that, and then I'll come back and highlight it. All right, I'm going to do a little shade here too. So there you go. That's my whole rant on how to tournament. Okay? We're not all going to be proteges and gods, and it's just not going to happen. We got to, if you go about it with the right mission in mind, again, the mission being, okay, I want to, like, I want to enjoy my games, and I want to potentially run into people, like-minded people, that I would enjoy playing this game with. Then I think you're going to be a lot better off. All right. Okay. With that, I think we're ready to call this stream to a close. That's where we are here with this guy. I don't know who this guy's name is, but he happened to get primed at the same time, so I'll start with him at some point soon. I'll look up what he looks like. It looks like he like ripped the head off of a robot or something. But yeah, he looks pretty cool. So we'll paint him. This guy is I don't know. Is he Jax? He reminds me of Jax from Tekken. Maybe he is Jax. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, we're gonna call the stream here. I will do more streams on these as I paint through them. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that. If you guys looking for games on Sunday, I am around Sunday at our local, and I'll be looking for games. So with that, we're gonna call the stream to a close. Thanks everybody for watching. Have a good night, everybody. And yeah, we'll catch you on the next one.